I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Let's discuss and go over this dreadful, piss-poor, subpar, very ignorant, very illogical booking of Monday Night Raw for April the 17th, 2023. This show was not good. And we're going to go over the not good stuff first, and then I'll get into the rest of the show from there. So, Cody Rhodes, he comes out. He asks North Little Rock what do they want to talk about. And he says he knows exactly what he wants to talk about. Cody calls Brock to the ring. So Adam Pearce, he proceeds to interrupt and says he appreciates what Cody's trying to do, but he can't let it happen tonight. Adam Pearce says everyone respects what Cody's trying to do, but he's not medically cleared to be here tonight. What the hell are you talking about? The man is dressed in his wrestling gear, ready to go. So then Adam Pearce asks Cody to please leave the ring. Fans boo. Cody says okay and thank you for the shared respect. Cody leaves, but he stops. He brings a steel chair from under the ring. He brings it back. Fans start to pop. Adam Pearce calls on security to help Cody to leave the ring if he won't leave on his own. Cody is now surrounded by security. Pearce says it didn't have to be like this. Then we hear Brock Lesnar's music. The fans pop. So Adam Pearce is begging Cody not to do this, promising he'll give him the backlash match. Pearce makes it official. Lesnar just stares down Cody Rhodes and he smiles and then he taunts Cody. So Cody begins to fight off security. Lesnar, he then motions for Cody to bring it to the ring. Cody takes out security. Cody attempts to make it up the ramp, but security guards hold him back. Lesnar laughs and turns to go backstage. And then Cody starts to take out more security. He clears the ring of the rest of them. And then Cody takes the mic and says Lesnar can wear his little cowboy hat all he wants to, but Cody grew up around cowboys and Lesnar's not one. He's a coward. And then Cody dips out. And this was the most illogical, stupid thing I have ever seen. This was a waste of a 10-minute segment. Well, actually, not a 10-minute segment, but about a 6 to 8 minute segment. This was absolutely dumb as shit. And this pissed me off to the highest degree. Brock Lesnar's out there looking like a clown. He's got on a long black trench coat and a cowboy hat. What the hell? So I'm guessing they took the Shawn Michaels route. Make him wear all black and he's a heel. This is absolutely stupid and ridiculous. See, this is what I meant when I said that Cody should have won at WrestleMania. So he wouldn't have to go through this ridiculous shit. It's going to be Cody carrying the feud. He did it with Roman, and he's going to have to do it here with Brock. This is absolutely stupid and ridiculous. It's a waste of everyone's time. Just a complete waste of a segment. The segment was dumb. And I'm going to segue into that, into the whole Trish Stratus situation. Her promo. It was forced. It was dumb. Nobody wants to boo Trish Stratus. At all. So Trish Stratus, she says she's going to start with a little history lesson. She says women's wrestling was a joke when she came to WWE, and she brought credibility to the division, which I agree with. Some people will say it was Trish and Lita, but no, it wasn't it was just Trish. She goes on about how she was the first to make people care about the women's division, and without her, there would be no women's revolution or women in the main event of WrestleMania. So then fans start to give Trish the what treatment, which I'm tired of that chant. I really am. That's completely played out and a whole bunch of other stuff. Anyway, Trish says fans should have chanted "Thank you, Trish" instead of "This is awesome" when the women headline WrestleMania. She says Becky credits the Force women with the revolution, but that statement is a joke, just like Becky Lynch. Trish started realizing that Becky actually believed what she was saying. Trish had to see this for herself. So she came back to WWE and buddied up with, to Becky. But not one time did Becky Lynch thank her for anything. Trish says Becky is very convincing. She even had Lita eating out of the palm of her hand when 1 year earlier she was just calling her out. She says Lita was now Becky Lynch's sidekick, but Trish is no one's sidekick. Trish says it was getting sad and embarrassing, so she had to take Lita out and put her out of her misery. Trish says yes, she took Lita out. She took Lita out because she needed it to be crystal clear that she was the one who screwed Becky out of those WWE Tag Team Championships. Well, Women's WWE Tag Team Championships, my bad. Trish goes on taunting Becky Lynch for her kind words before last week's heel turn. Trish says she will not allow anyone to rewrite history. She's not our nostalgia act, and she's damn sure no one's sidekick. Trish says she's the greatest of all time, the most single important figure in WWE history, and she's here to make sure no one forgets it. And then she drops the mic, and then she dips out. Completely stupid and a waste of time. And they actually added in the typed-in boos that they used in the pandemic era and the empty arena era in the Thunderdome. Because nobody wants to boo Trish Stratus. This is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It was a waste of time. It fell flat. I get what she was saying. I get the context. But again, people do not want to boo her at all. And what's also ridiculous is how some of the IWC acted like clowns and lost their minds, thinking that Becky Lynch was going to leave WWE. Are you insane? Are you mentally ill? No. Becky Lynch is not leaving. All right? She's not leaving. She was never leaving. It's reported that she is nursing a minor injury. So she'll be back. And I don't think we'll see Trish for a while either. I don't know when we'll see Trish again. I know this is to set up the SummerSlam feud. We don't really need to see Trish back until maybe around, I want to say June or July. So we don't need to see her for at least a couple months. But those two segments were absolutely horrendous. I mean, this is just absolutely pathetic. That's what killed the show for me. The show itself was alright. I'm not even going to even say decent, but it was alright. So we kicked the show off with the Bloodline. So the Usos take the mic. They announced that they're in your town. They received some boos. But Heyman takes the mic. He does his usual stick, mentioning Roman Reigns. So Heyman says he's got some big news on history changing. But before he can continue, out comes the Judgment Day. Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, and SmackDown Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley. So both sides stare each other down. Heyman, he shakes hands with Damian Priest and says it's a very good day to be a bad guy. Heyman says, if there's a heaven, none of us are making it in. And then, this is a short-term deal conceived by Roman. So the fans boo. Jay says they knew nothing about this. Heyman says Roman didn't want anyone on their side knowing. Well, except for Solo, because he wanted his Usos being off guard by the enormity of this. Heyman says even Balor isn't happy with this because his feelings against the Bloodline. But he's willing to put those feelings aside in the name of villainy. Villainy. Paul Heyman brings up the Judgment Day's issues with Bad Bunny. Solo continues to stare at Rhea. So he stares her down. So Heyman then asks Jay to switch places with Solo. Rhea then moves over so she can keep staring Solo down. He does the same. Heyman asks if everything's okay. Rhea says for now. Paul Heyman says Judgment Day needs Bad Bunny taken care of. And Solo will do that while the Bloodline has problems with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Matt Riddle. Heyman says these three will face the Bloodline at Backlash. And if they make it there, because first they have to face the Judgment Day tonight. So Heyman then rips the local crowd and says Solo will first smash Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio. Okay. First match tonight, Rey Mysterio versus Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa wins via the Samoan Spike. And then post-match, the LWO, they hit the ring and they all eat Samoan Spikes. And then I think Escobar eats the 1D from the Usos. Okay. Pretty okay segment to kick off the show. If I do say so myself, I'm fine with it. Moving on. Alpha Academy, they're backstage with Maxine Dupree talking to Adam Pearce earlier in the day. Chad Gable's making up the case of keeping he and Otis together in the draft. Well, Maxine thinks that she and Otis would be better for the face of Raw. Pierce says he'll take this on into consideration, but he's got so much going on, and then he sends them away. Next, Bianca Belair versus Dakota Kai. This was a bore. I did not give one single shit about this match. This match sucked. I don't even know why. I don't know why Dakota Kai is still even there. I'm not even trying to even be mean. I'm just being real. The girl doesn't have it. She ain't got it. And I don't care about her NXT stuff. I don't. Alright? So Bianca Belair wins via the KOD. And Bayley and Io Sky, they stood there and basically did nothing. We all know that Damage Control is going to break up anyway in the draft. Hopefully, this leads to Bayley either going to SmackDown and maybe you keep Io by herself and Dakota Kai, they can get rid of her for all I care. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm just being honest here. So, we get a vignette for Bronson Reed. So he dominates, but he says he's Mr. Nice Guy. At least that's what his mom calls him. Okay. I like that. It seems like it was very Jeremy Borash-esque. So that was a good job by Jeremy Borash for sure. I could tell that was his type of vignette. So the Judgment Day, they're backstage. So Damian Priest mentions that Bad Bunny will be appearing next week. While Donna Mysterio says it was satisfying to see Solo hurt his pops tonight. Paul Heyman walks by and asks if they were satisfied with the opener. So Balor makes an sound. Like that's how I was about the show. Paul Heyman tells them to make sure they get the job done tonight against Matt Riddle, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens tonight so they don't fall into debt with the Tribal Chief. Damian Priest says no, that sounds like an issue between Roman Reigns and the Usos because Judgment Day handles their business. And then Rhea says goodbye to Paul, and then he gets on his phone and he tells Siri to call Roman Reigns. Moving on. Next, Seth Rollins versus The Miz. Seth Rollins wins via the stomp. This was a decent match. Seth Rollins and Miz have very good chemistry with each other. Solid match. But Miz is a comedy jobber. And Rollins is, well, he's a bit directionless. He's been like that for a while. And there, yet again, this is why I said they should have given the title to Cody back at WrestleMania. So we wouldn't be in this mess. Because both Brock and Roman are what? Part-timers. Part-timers to the highest degree. And I feel bad for Seth Rollins. I do. I feel terrible for the man. The guy constantly churns out bangers and stuff. Moving on. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, they're backstage with Matt Riddle. Sami suggested they get on the same page and says Matt Riddle has some good ideas. So they should hear him out. Kevin Owens tells Matt Riddle that they should leave the thinking to he and Sami. Sami says he and Owens have talked about this before, and Riddle deserves to have a voice if he's going to help them out. So Riddle thanks Sami. He brings up Soul Sikoa, Samoa, and Spike, but then suggests that he has some pretty sweet kicks so he could tape up his big toe and kick Solo in the jugular. Call it the bro toe. The toe bro, my bad. Riddle asks what they think. Owens is basically speechless, while Sami says, it's an idea. So Matt Riddle says he wasn't being serious. He says he's not an idiot. So Riddle asks if they remember everything the Bloodline did to him. Riddle gives them props for what they did together and for winning the titles at WrestleMania 39. He says he's not here to waste time or joke around like some idiot. He's here to kick some ass, and he'll do that tonight and again at Backlash. And then Riddle walks away. Owen says maybe they should listen to Riddle, and Sami said he suggested this first. Okay. I like Matt Riddle being semi-serious. I do like this. So it wasn't too bad. Next, Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley. Bronson Reed got involved, took out both guys. It was no contest. He absolutely destroyed Bobby Lashley. He did a big splash from the corner onto Lashley, and then he hit the Samoan Spike next, and then that followed, and then he followed it up with a tsunami splash. And moving on. So Cody Rhodes, he's backstage with Kathy Kelly. So he said that he's ecstatic to face Brock Lesnar at Backlash. But he's also confused and bewildered. Not just over how he's not WWE Undisputed Champion, and how 20 security guards were called in for him and not Lesnar 2 weeks ago, and how Brock Lesnar walked out on him tonight. He knows he had to apologize to Adam Pearce because of his temper, but he doesn't understand what is it about me. Cody says he has to smash the beast. He knows Lesnar is back into a corner, and the only way out is for Brock to win. But with everything Cody has been through, he can't let that happen. Cody then thanks Kathy, and then he walks out. Again, this is something that I don't care about. Cody shouldn't even be in this situation. Let's just be honest here. Seriously. Next, Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green versus Mia Yim, a.k.a. Michin and Candice LeRae. Sonya Deville and Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green, they win. Who cares? Also, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, they were there watching the match. This is so stupid. Burn the women's tag team championships, please. Get rid of them and give these women like a mid-card title and come up with some feuds that don't involve titles. Oh, my God. All right. Moving on. So, Rick Boogs, Elias, and the Street Profits, they're backstage discussing the draft. So, Boogs doesn't want to leave because he just got here. Baron Corbin walks up and reminds the Street Profits that tag teams could be split up. They say no. But then just go off to speak with Adam Pearce about the matter. Elias says he will probably go first in the draft. Yeah, right. And he knows that that gives Boogs anxiety no matter where he goes. He'll put in a good word for Boogs. Akira Tozawa, he appears and walks up and says Boogs is a star, which I agree with. But Elias will be picked last, which I also agree with. Corbin takes Tozawa's hand, but Tozawa says Corbin sucks and no one wants him here. I agree with that. So Corbin is frustrated as Tozawa walks off, laughing. Okay. So, Solo and the Usos, they're backstage. The Usos taunt the LWO, but say that they like to see the new teams, to see new teams step up. The Usos go on hyping up the Bloodline being forever and promise to win the 6-man at Backlash. And then the main event, the Judgment Day versus Matt Riddle, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Not Judgment Day, but Matt Riddle wins via the floating bro. And then basically all hell breaks loose post-match. So, the Usos, they rush down and a massive brawl breaks out, basically, between the teams. The LWO, they come out next to join the fight. Ray ends up hitting a 619 on a stun to a massive pop, which is great. Owens slams Damian Priest on the top of the announce table, and Sami brawls with everyone else. And then we go off the air with the LWO standing tall, and that's how we end the show. Again, the show itself was okay at best, but this show was completely filler. The Brock and Cody stuff has me flabbergasted beyond belief. Same thing with the whole Trish situation as well. This is just not good. You can tell they're not going to try anything monumental until April the 28th. So that's when we'll get things shaken up. That's when we'll get call-ups and everything else. And I do think that they'll probably switch some teams that are feuding now, they'll keep them together. So we'll still see the Bloodline together. We'll still see Judgment Day together. LWO, same thing. But this show was a complete disaster and just a waste of time, if I'm being honest. So on that note, thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos. What did you guys think of the show? I'll catch you guys later. Peace.